Welcome to the Conspiracy Files with Paige Carter. I'm your host, Paige Carter. In the mid-20th century, against the backdrop of the Cold War, the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States embarked on a clandestine experiment, one that would push the boundaries of ethics, legality, and human rights. This was Project MKUltra, a covert operation that sought to master the art of mind control. The aim? To cultivate human weapons, spies who could carry out tasks without even knowing they were doing so. Imagine a world where your thoughts, your actions, your very perception of reality could be manipulated by unseen forces. What if every decision you made was not truly your own, but the result of careful programming by shadowy figures operating behind the scenes? This was the chilling goal of MKUltra, a program that many believe was not only successful, but continues to influence us to this day. Over its nearly 2-decade span, MKUltra left no stone unturned in its quest for complete control over the human mind. It employed a wide range of techniques, including hypnosis, electroshock therapy, and the administration of mind-altering substances like LSD. The subjects of these experiments were often unsuspecting individuals, their consent neither sought nor given. But the rabbit hole goes deeper still. MKUltra was not just about controlling individuals, it was about controlling society. It sought to harness the power of mass media, using propaganda and subliminal messaging to subtly shape the thoughts and beliefs of the American public. Yet despite the sheer audacity and scope of MKUltra, it remains shrouded in secrecy. Most of the official documents were destroyed in the early 1970s, and much of what we know today comes from a handful of surviving records and the testimonies of those involved. Few topics stir as much controversy and debate as MKUltra. It's a grim reminder of the lengths that those in power are willing to go to maintain their grip, and the disregard they can show for basic human rights in the process. It's important to remember that the story of MKUltra is not just a historical curiosity. It's a stark warning about the potential for abuse when power is unchecked, and a call to vigilance in the ongoing fight for our freedoms. As we delve deeper into the tangled web of MKUltra, we will uncover more about the tactics used, the people involved, and the lasting impact of this chilling project. We will question everything we thought we knew about power, control, and the sanctity of our own minds. So brace yourself as we venture into the dark underbelly of government secrecy and manipulation, exploring the shadowy corners of our history and our present that some would rather we forget. This is the story of MKUltra, mind control, secret experiments, and the fight for your freedom. The truth may be uncomfortable, but it is essential in our quest to understand the world around us. The roots of MKUltra trace back to the 1950s, a period marked by the Cold War, a time of heightened political tension between the United States and the Soviet Union. This era was characterized by an atmosphere of fear and paranoia. The threat of nuclear war was a constant dread, and propaganda from both sides stoked the fears of an unsuspecting public. It was against this backdrop that MKUltra was born. In 1953, the CIA launched the program under the direction of Allen Dulles, the agency's director at the time. This was not a decision made in a vacuum. Rather, it was a response to perceived threats from overseas. Reports of Soviet, Chinese, and North Korean use of brainwashing techniques on U.S. prisoners of war during the Korean War had shaken the American intelligence community. The fear was real. The United States was in an arms race with the Soviet Union, but it was not just nuclear arms that they were developing. It was also a race for control over the human mind. The CIA believed that the enemy was using mind control techniques to extract information and make soldiers compliant. They feared that the United States was losing the battle, and this fear led them to create MKUltra. Secrecy was paramount. Most of those involved in the program were unaware of the full extent of the experiments, let alone their true purpose. The activities were hidden under layers of code names and bureaucratic obfuscation. Even the title MKUltra was a code name. MK was used by the technical services staff, and Ultra was a term used during World War II to signify the highest level of secrecy. But beneath the veils of secrecy, the program was carrying out activities that would later be condemned as unethical and inhumane. Unwitting civilians were subjected to a range of experiments involving drugs like LSD, electroshock therapy, and hypnosis. The aim was to develop techniques for mind control, information extraction, and psychological torture. The covert nature of MKUltra made it virtually impossible for those outside the program to know what was going on. The public was blissfully unaware of the mind control experiments being conducted in their midst. The very idea would have seemed like the stuff of science fiction or paranoid fantasy. But as we now know, the truth was stranger and far more terrifying than fiction. The story of MKUltra is a chilling testament to the lengths that governments may go to in their quest for power, and the ease with which basic human rights can be disregarded in the name of national security. In the shadowy world of MKUltra, certain figures and organizations stand out, their roles and motives crucial to understanding the unfathomable depths of this program. At the helm was the Central Intelligence Agency, the key orchestrator of MKUltra. The CIA's technical services staff, known as the TSS, was the department directly responsible for the conception, direction, and execution of the program. The TSS was the CIA's scientific arm, tasked with researching and developing espionage instruments, including mind control techniques. One of the most iconic figures within this secret program was Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, a chemist and the head of the TSS. Gottlieb was a paradoxical character, a man who loved nature and poetry, yet who would come to be known as the Black Sorcerer and the Dirty Trickster. He was the architect of many of MKUltra's most notorious experiments, including the use of LSD on unwitting subjects. Gottlieb was driven by a staunch anti-communist sentiment, a conviction that justified, in his mind, the necessity for such severe methods. Another player in the MKUltra saga was Dr. Ewan Cameron, a psychiatrist based in Montreal, Canada. Cameron conducted his own set of experiments under the codename Project Monarch. His methods were particularly brutal, involving electroconvulsive therapy at 30 to 40 times the normal power and drug-induced comas that could last for months. Cameron was motivated by the desire to correct schizophrenia by erasing existing memories and reprogramming the psyche. The CIA also employed the services of various institutions, from universities to hospitals and prisons, to conduct these clandestine experiments. Many of these institutions were oblivious to the true nature of the research they were facilitating. The agency's elaborate system of front organizations and covert funding mechanisms ensured that the real purpose of these experiments remained concealed. The Federal Bureau of Narcotics, under the leadership of Harry J. Anslinger, also played a role in MKUltra. The Bureau was often used as a proxy by the CIA, conducting experiments on unwitting subjects under the guise of routine drug enforcement operations. These key figures and organizations were all bound by a shared belief in the necessity of their actions, a conviction that the ends justified the means. This belief, coupled with a culture of unchecked authority and secrecy, allowed MKUltra to exist and expand, leaving a dark legacy that continues to haunt the annals of American history. The lid on MKUltra began to lift in the early 1970s. A series of critical events, leaks, and discoveries would eventually expose the depths of the project to public scrutiny. The first of these was the Watergate scandal, which led to increased public distrust in government institutions and sparked a newfound interest in investigating state abuses of power. In 1973, then CIA Director Richard Helms ordered all MKUltra files to be destroyed, likely in an attempt to bury evidence of the project's activities ahead of the impending investigations. However, this attempt to erase MKUltra from history was not entirely successful. A clerical error resulted in the survival of approximately 20,000 documents related to the operation, which were incorrectly stored in a financial records building. 3 years later, in 1976, a Freedom of Information Act request filed by investigative journalist John Marks led to the discovery of these surviving documents. The files, filled with cryptic references to various sub-projects and experiments, provided the first tangible proof of MKUltra's existence. Following this revelation, the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence and the Senate Subcommittee on Health and Scientific Research launched investigations into MKUltra in 1977. The subsequent report confirmed that the CIA had indeed been conducting illegal experiments on unwitting subjects. It also revealed the extent of the project's attempts to develop mind control techniques, shedding light on the role of figures like Gottlieb and Cameron. Another significant event occurred in 1984, when a cache of documents related to Cameron's experiments in Montreal were discovered in a storeroom at McGill University. These files provided further evidence of the brutal methods used in MKUltra and brought renewed attention to the project's activities in Canada. In 1994, MKUltra once again made headlines when several victims of the experiments filed a class action lawsuit against the CIA. The case, which was settled out of court, led to a formal apology from the agency and compensation for the victims. These revelations marked the beginning of the public's awareness of MKUltra. However, the full extent of the project's activities remains shrouded in mystery. The surviving documents, while illuminating, represent only a fraction of the project's operations. The bulk of the information about MKUltra was lost forever in the 1973 purge, leaving us with more questions than answers about this dark chapter in history. The cloak of secrecy around MKUltra, however, wasn't woven solely by the CIA. Indeed, the cover-up was a concerted effort involving other institutions and corporations, some of which might surprise you. For instance, universities and pharmaceutical companies played significant roles, either knowingly or unknowingly, in these clandestine operations. The involvement of universities was not merely incidental. Many of the experiments were conducted on campuses, often under the guise of legitimate research. Renowned institutions such as Harvard, Stanford, and McGill were implicated. Furthermore, the CIA funded these experiments through covert channels, using front organizations to funnel money and resources. This allowed the agency to maintain plausible deniability while carrying out their covert activities. Pharmaceutical companies were also deeply entwined in the web of secrecy surrounding MKUltra. Several major drug manufacturers provided the CIA with substances used in the experiments, including LSD and other hallucinogens. Some did so knowingly, lured by lucrative contracts and the promise of exclusive access to research findings. Others were unwitting participants, their products diverted for use in MKUltra without their knowledge or consent. Witnesses and victims who attempted to expose the truth faced a wall of silence and denial. Those who came forward were often discredited, their stories dismissed as fabrications or delusions. This was a common tactic used by the CIA and other agencies to suppress information and maintain control of the narrative. The manipulation of the media played a crucial role in these suppression efforts. Through a covert program known as Operation Mockingbird, the CIA allegedly influenced news outlets and journalists, ensuring that their version of events was the one that reached the public. This manipulation extended to the MKUltra story, with the agency using its media connections to downplay the significance of the revelations and divert attention away from the more disturbing aspects of the project. The cover-up of MKUltra was a masterclass in information control, demonstrating the lengths to which governments, corporations, and institutions will go to protect their interests. But despite their best efforts, the truth about MKUltra has gradually come to light, revealing the shocking extent of the project's activities and the chilling implications for our understanding of the boundaries of human experimentation and control. While the depths of secrecy surrounding MKUltra were profound, a handful of brave individuals risked their lives and reputations to expose the truth. They emerged from the shadows, were journalists, insiders, and survivors, all driven by a desire for justice, accountability, and the need to shed light on one of the darkest chapters in American history. One such figure was John Marks, a State Department official turned investigative journalist. Marks spent years doggedly pursuing the story of MKUltra, wading through a sea of redacted documents, confidential memos, and elusive sources. His book, The Search for the Manchurian Candidate, published in 1979, was one of the first comprehensive accounts of the project. Marks's work was instrumental in exposing the extent of the CIA's mind control experiments and sparked widespread public outrage. Frank Olson, a biochemist working with the CIA, was another insider who became a whistleblower. Olson expressed concerns about the ethics and legality of MKUltra and the use of biological weapons. In a tragic turn of events, Olson mysteriously fell from a hotel window in 1953, a week after being secretly dosed with LSD by his CIA colleagues. Olson's death was initially ruled a suicide, but later investigations, prompted by his family's relentless quest for the truth, revealed strong indications of foul play. His story is a chilling reminder of the risks faced by those who dared to question the project. Among the survivors, a few also mustered the courage to come forward with their stories. One of them was Paul Robeson Jr., the son of the famous singer and activist, Paul Robeson. According to Robeson Jr., his father was subjected to mind control experiments under MKUltra during a visit to Moscow in 1961, leading to his mental breakdown. These personal accounts, despite attempts to discredit them, added a human dimension to the cold clinical details of the MKUltra files. It's important to note the immense risks these whistleblowers faced. They confronted powerful entities, faced character assassination, personal threats, and in some cases, fatal consequences. Yet their testimonies, their relentless pursuit for the truth, played a crucial role in cracking open the MKUltra saga, bringing it from the realm of rumor and conjecture into the harsh light of reality. Their courage continues to remind us of the enduring human spirit that resists manipulation and control, and the fight for freedom that persists even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Declassified documents provide the most tangible evidence that the MKUltra project was more than just a conspiracy theory. In 1973, amid growing scrutiny, CIA Director Richard Helms ordered the destruction of all MKUltra files. However, due to a bureaucratic oversight, over 20,000 pages of financial documents escaped the purge. These files, discovered in 1977, gave the public its first glimpse into the extent and nature of the project. The released files, while heavily redacted, contained chilling details. They described the administration of drugs, particularly LSD, to unwitting subjects. The documents outlined the use of hypnosis, electroshock treatments, and substances which will promote illogical thinking and impulsiveness. All of these were part of the CIA's efforts to manipulate mental states and alter brain functions. What was starkly absent, however, were the names of the subjects, the specifics of the experiments, or any mention of therapeutic intent. The documents painted a picture of a project deeply invested in control and manipulation, with little regard for the well-being of its subjects. The Church Committee, a U.S. Senate investigative body, held hearings on the MKUltra project in 1975, using these recovered documents as their primary source. Their report, published in 1976, confirmed that the CIA had conducted experiments designed to weaken the individual and force confessions through mind control. However, due to the extensive destruction of files, the full extent of MKUltra remains unknown. Testimonies from survivors, whistleblowers, and former employees provide the only glimpse into the missing pieces of the puzzle. In 1994, a cache of documents related to MKUltra was discovered during a Freedom of Information Act request. These documents, including memos and letters, confirmed that the CIA had funded studies at dozens of universities and institutions, revealing the project's reach into academia and the medical community. Despite these revelations, the mystery surrounding MKUltra endures. What we know is based on a fraction of the original files, survivor testimonies, and investigative journalism. The missing pieces and redacted information fuel continued debate and speculation. The veil of secrecy that once shrouded MKUltra has lifted, but shadows still linger. The search for further truth, for complete understanding, continues. This story serves as a stark reminder of the lengths to which entities can go in their quest for control, and the resilience required to unearth and confront these hidden truths. As the details of MKUltra came into public light, the revelations sent shockwaves through society. The notion that their own government had been conducting invasive, ethically questionable experiments on its citizens without their knowledge or consent was deeply unsettling. The public was faced with the realization that their trust had been betrayed on a profound and disturbing level. The media played a significant role in amplifying the story and its implications. Journalists dove into the sparse details available, piecing together a narrative that was chilling in its implications. The press became the primary force in spreading awareness about the project and its abuses, contributing to a growing sense of public outrage and disillusionment. The fallout from these revelations was widespread. The CIA, once viewed as a guardian of national security, was now seen by many as a perpetrator of disturbing violations of individual rights. Trust in the government, already shaky due to the Vietnam War and Watergate scandal, was further eroded. The specter of MKUltra hovered over the American psyche, creating a climate of fear and mistrust. This was not simply about illegal drug trials or unethical research. It was about the government's willingness to compromise the very principles of individual freedom and ethical conduct in the name of national security. Public reaction was a mix of disbelief, anger, and fear. Some doubted the veracity of the accounts, dismissing them as conspiracy theories or exaggerations. Others accepted the revelations with a sense of grim resignation, viewing them as further evidence of government overreach. Despite the denials from the CIA and attempts to downplay the significance of the findings, the controversy surrounding MKUltra refused to die down. Survivors of the experiments and their families sought justice, filing lawsuits against the government. However, most of these legal battles were uphill struggles, hampered by lack of evidence and the government's invocation of national security. The MKUltra revelations also sparked a broader societal debate about the limits of government power and the protection of individual rights. Questions were raised about the oversight and accountability of intelligence agencies, triggering reforms in the years to follow. Yet, even decades later, the legacy of MKUltra continues to haunt the collective conscious. It stands as a stark testament to the dangers of unchecked power and the lengths some will go to in their quest for control. It serves as an enduring reminder of the importance of vigilance, transparency, and the inviolability of individual rights in the face of covert operations and hidden agendas. The influence of MKUltra extends far beyond the realm of historical fact and into the fabric of modern culture. Its sinister story has permeated the collective imagination, casting long shadows over our understanding of the clandestine world of intelligence and governmental control. It has found its way into books, films, and television shows, fueling plots of secret government programs, mind control, and conspiracies. More than just a source of inspiration for writers and filmmakers, MKUltra has become a symbol, a metaphor for the struggle against the encroachment of personal freedoms by unchecked powers. In the world of politics, MKUltra left an indelible mark. The revelations about the program heightened public awareness about the dangers of government overreach and the necessity for checks and balances on intelligence agencies. This led to significant policy shifts. with the government implementing increased oversight and stricter ethical guidelines for intelligence activities. The Church Committee, formed in the wake of the MKUltra scandal, played a crucial role in these reforms, investigating abuses by the CIA and other intelligence agencies and recommending significant changes. In the sphere of technology, the specter of MKUltra continues to loom large. In an era where data is the new currency, concerns about privacy and surveillance have taken center stage. The revelations from MKUltra serve as a chilling reminder of the lengths to which those in power may go to manipulate and control. As we grapple with the implications of artificial intelligence, social media manipulation, and digital surveillance, the lessons from MKUltra remain starkly relevant. However, the legacy of MKUltra isn't just one of fear and mistrust. It's also a testament to the resilience of truth and the power of public scrutiny. It stands as a stark reminder of the importance of transparency, accountability, and the power of the public to hold those in authority accountable. It highlights the critical role of investigative journalism and independent inquiry in uncovering hidden truths and bringing them to light. In the end, the enduring relevance of MKUltra lies not in its shocking revelations of abuse and violation, but in the lessons it imparts about the importance of vigilance, the necessity for transparency, and the inviolable sanctity of individual rights. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, these lessons continue to resonate, a beacon guiding our way through the murky waters of secrecy and power. MKUltra, then, is not just a chapter in history, but a continuing narrative in our ongoing struggle for freedom and dignity. Yet, despite the significant strides made in the realms of transparency and accountability, many unanswered questions remain. The full extent of the MKUltra program, its methods, its outcomes, and its victims, remains shrouded in secrecy. Thousands of documents were destroyed in the purge orchestrated by Richard Helms, leaving only a fragmented account of the true nature of the program. We may never fully grasp the breadth and depth of the operations carried out under the umbrella of MKUltra, or the exact number of innocent lives affected. Furthermore, the question of whether similar unethical practices continue, albeit under different names and more covert operations, is a haunting specter that lingers. The clandestine nature of intelligence agencies, combined with the advancements in technology, makes it impossible to entirely rule out the possibility of the continuation of such activities. Indeed, the inherent secrecy that defines these organizations creates an environment ripe for speculation and doubt. This lingering doubt, this sense of unresolved mystery, is perhaps the most enduring legacy of MKUltra. It serves as a constant reminder of the potential for abuse of power, the dangers posed by unchecked authority, and the necessity of continued vigilance. The specter of MKUltra is a subtle yet potent testament to the importance of our rights, the sanctity of our minds, and the enduring value of our freedom. In the final analysis, MKUltra is more than a shocking chapter in the annals of American history. It's a cautionary tale, a narrative of manipulation and abuse born out of secrecy and power. It's a tale that underscores the importance of transparency, the necessity for accountability, and the inviolability of individual rights. It's a stark reminder of the lengths to which those in power may go in the name of national security, and the devastating human cost that can result from such actions. MKUltra, in its chilling secrecy and its unsettling revelations, embodies the complex interplay between power, secrecy, and freedom. It serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of our freedoms, the preciousness of our individual rights, and the necessity for constant vigilance in the face of potential abuse. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, the story of MKUltra remains a potent cautionary tale, a beacon of warning amidst the murky waters of secrecy and power. It's a narrative that continues to resonate, a testament to our ongoing struggle for freedom, dignity, and truth. Thanks for listening. This has been The Conspiracy Files with Paige Carter. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.